Hi everyone. So I hope that you can see me well. This is my first live doing an exercise. I did live just filming short videos, but I have never done a live yoga class. So I hope that I'm not like I was supposed to be turning the phone around, camera around, but it would be difficult then for you to see me. So this is my little mic. So I hope that everything goes well. This is just sort of a trial and error today. And I hope that the classes that I'll do as part of the coaching series, they will have to be perfect. So whoever's here, welcome. If not, I'm super happy for you to watch a replay. And if you have half an hour to do this short flow with me. So I'm just going to check one more time if I can see that everything's working. And if it does, yeah, I'll just go with it and let's see. So I prepared a short strengthening flow for today. It's going to be like around 25 minutes, or a little bit less than an hour, 26, so that we're done by 12:30. It's going to be mostly for the posture. So I really think that in life, it's really important how we stand, of course, how we move as well, but just the posture that you have. Like if you're sort of always shoulders down, chin to chest, like really, it just looks sort of sluggish. It doesn't really look confident. It looks like you've been beaten down by something. So I think that the good posture gives you sort of confidence and energy, but it also really radiates to everyone around you that you're in a good place in life. So, and of course, it has a lot of health benefits, but I'm not going to go into that. It's more of a mindset thing that I have in mind today. So we're going to do a bit of core, a bit of shoulders, just everything that will help you to sit up straight, to stand straight, to move through life, just in a very comfortable, straight posture. So we'll start on all fours in child's pose. So you can do it with your knees apart, or you can do it with your knees together, big thumbs touching in the back. And now just sit down, try to touch your heels with your buttocks. If you can't, you can put a pillow sort of in between, and you can lean on your pillow with your sit bones. Today's flow, it's really for all levels. It's going to be quite, well, not tiresome, but it's a strengthening flow. So you need a bit of muscles, but we're not going to do anything where you would need any extra knowledge or be extra bendy or whatever. So let's just come into a child's pose. I have palms in front of you. You can place your thumb and index finger together in a diamond shape. This will release your shoulders. And just place your forehead on the mat. Come to your breath here. Just observe. See how you're breathing. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Try to elongate your inhale and exhale, and really breathe through your tummy, low ribs, and upper chest, not only with the chest. So it would be like inhale, tummy, lower ribs, upper chest, and exhale, upper chest, lower ribs, tummy. You can count to 3 or to 4 with an inhale, and then again on an exhale. Now let's come slowly, just with your hands, like leave your sit bones where they are. But come to the left with your hands, like to do a slight side body stretch. You can place your right palm on top of the left and really push your right hip down and right sit bone down. So your bum has to be on your heels still. If it's not, then you went too far to the left, then bring it back slightly. This is a really nice side body stretch. So now slowly inhale, come into the middle. And let's come to the right, sort of with your hands to the right. And now you can place your left palm on the top of the right hand. And just relax your forehead down again. And push your left hip and your left sit bone into your heel. Maybe for this side stretch, if you're in a child's pose with your knees together, it's maybe better to have your knees apart as well as the mat. But you can do it in either variation of your child's pose. Last deep inhale here. And exhale. And let's come back into the middle. And we'll come onto our all fours. Keep your hips straight above your knees. And now just walk with your hands towards the front of the mat. And let's come into the puppy pose. So you can have your toes tucked under, untuck, hips over knees. And you just come down with your chest. Like really, it's important that you come down towards the mat with your chest. Arms are forward. Hands towards the top of the mat, all of the 5 fingers pushing into the floor, and now bring your forehead onto the mat. You can have your elbows and your forearms on the mat, or you can have them lifted up. This is a really nice shoulder stretch, and if you have your elbows up and your forearms, then it's just a bit more active version. If you place them down, it's a bit more passive. Just see what fits best. 3 breaths. Now slowly push into your hands and come onto all fours. And now it's going to become a bit more active. I'm just going to readjust my mic because I had to remove it before for the previous exercises. And now from all fours, let's come into our plank. Tucked in your toes and be in your plank first. Really check the alignment. Check that your shoulders are exactly above your wrists, that you're not coming down with your hips. So try to sort of almost round your low back, really pulling navel to spine. Pushing your heels backwards. Your legs are super engaged, like don't have them sort of floppy somewhere. They're really engaged. Find a straight line. It's better to go a bit up than too much down with your hips, yeah? So really navel to spine. Try to round your low back as much as you can. I mean, it's also almost not possible, but it's sort of energetic movement. The entire body is engaged. And from here, we'll be just sort of bringing your knees towards the mat. You can touch the mat slightly, or you just hover the knees just above the mat and back up. Okay, just find your breath here. And then to exhale, knees down towards the mat, and inhale, knees back up. We'll do 10. And if you need a bit of pause in between, you can just go into child's pose. If you have any problems with your wrists, you can always come on your forearms, okay? Just come on your forearms and you can do it like this, or you can come on your fists as well. Sometimes it helps. So 5 more. Take care of your breath. Don't forget to breathe. This is a really nice shoulder and arm strengthener as well as core strengthener. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now in plank, deep inhale, and let's exhale into downward dog. So now find your alignment here first. Really take care that your spine is straight. Push your entire hands, your entire palms into the mat. And now check that your shoulders are in the right position, because what we tend to do is that our shoulder blades would be coming down and back and together, but try to make space between the shoulder blades. I'm going to show it here. So not like this, but make space, like you'd be sort of slightly rounding your upper back. And then really extend your arms, push into your hands, extend your spine. It doesn't matter if the legs are bent or straight. Regardless, just find the length in the spine. Chest goes towards your hips, really pushing there. Don't lift up your forehead. Have your head down. And from here we'll inhale into plank. Again, if you need, you can rest in child's pose. And exhale back to downward dog. And we'll do this 10 times and do it very slowly. Like really try to do a slow flow. Inhaling into plank. And then exhaling back into downward dog. Like you'd be almost rounding your lower spine when you're flowing towards plank. And all the time engage your core. Navel goes to spine. Engage your low belly. Everything is completely active. Okay? Just flow with your breath. Try not to do it too fast. So 5. This is also a great shoulder strengthener. 3 to go. Just rest in child's pose if you need, or you can also rest in downward dog if you need. If you need to. And last one. And exhale back into downward dog. You can take a short rest here if you want. Just come into child's pose. I'm not going to do it now, but just come into child's pose and rest maybe for a couple of breaths before we are going to move to the next exercise. Okay, so now come back into your downward dog. And from the downward dog, just step slowly forward between your hands. One step at a time. You can also jump if you're super advanced. And from here, we'll place our hands in front of us onto the floor. If you have blocks or books, you can also use that. So I'm going to grab 2 just to show you. If you want, you can use 2 blocks. It may be easier if you can't reach the floor. Or you can use a couple of books, whatever you have. But if you can, let's bring our right leg up. So it's sort of a half split as far as you can go. Bring your forehead towards your left leg. Really balance on your left leg. You can, if you want, you can slightly bend your left knee. It may be easier to stand on it. Deep inhale, and on an exhale, we'll come sort of into I call it like eagle squat. So you'll be bringing your right leg across in the back of your left. And we'll just come down, just keep your hands on the floor, and we'll just come down as much as we can without lifting our left heel. And then inhaling back up. And exhaling down as much as you can. Inhaling back up. And we'll do 3 more. Exhaling. It looks easier than it is because this is a balancing as well as a strengthening exercise, and we're preparing for eagle pose. And now the last one, I think it's my 5th. Just hold it here for a bit. And then come back up into a half split. And from here, just lift up into warrior 3. So you'll be having your right leg up parallel to the floor. So try not to have it up too high. Have it parallel to the floor. You can have your toes pointed or foot flexed. Bring your right hip down. Don't open it up. So bring your right hip down and then come with your hands in prayer in front of your chest. 3 inhales and exhales here. And now let's inhale. If you can, just bring your right leg in front of you without putting it on the floor. And we'll come into a proper eagle pose here. So you just wrap your right leg around. If you can't do that, just do it a little bit. You can even have your right foot on the floor, yeah? It doesn't really matter. If you can, you wrap it. You can keep your hands in prayer. If you want, you can bring your left arm across your right and again wrap. And here you can also hold your shoulders and just have it like this. If you can't, come completely into eagle. So this is really nice, just holding the shoulders and shoulder blades. 3 inhales and exhales. And now let's release. And just shake it out a little bit. And before doing all of this on the other side, we'll do a side stretch. So let's just stand in Tadasana. Straight, and let's bring arms up above our head on an inhale. And let's just bend to the left. Maybe grabbing your right wrists and really opening your chest up. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Inhaling back up, grabbing your left wrist and coming to the right. And we'll do it one more time on each side. Inhaling to the middle, side stretch. Again, inhaling to the middle, side stretch. Now let's come back to the front of your mat and we'll do a short low back strengthener before we come to the other side as well. So let's bend our knees as much as you can. You can have your feet sort of hip width apart or maybe even slightly more if you feel that you're balancing better. And now come down with your torso so that your torso is parallel to the floor. It can be slightly up, but the best is if it's parallel to the floor. Now engage your core, that's first of all. Now bring your hands on your low back or sacrum. And we'll be just flowing with our arms. So we'll be inhaling right arm in front of us, exhaling back. Inhaling left arm in front of us, exhaling back. Try to see that you're not too high up, yeah, like this. Try to come more down if you can. Feet are on the floor completely. Do it as slow as you can. Maybe I'm doing it even too fast. Engage your core, navel to spine. Let's do last one. Inhale. And inhale on the left. Exhale back. And now let's just inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way into forward fold. We're not going to any flows here. We're going straight to the other side. So I had my right leg up before into half split. Now I'm going to lift my left leg up. Half split. Again, use blocks here. Books, table, whatever you have. A chair. So you don't have to really come to the floor with your hands. Now again, really come down as much as you can. Bring your forehead to your right leg. Maybe bend your right leg slightly. Find its balance. Push your left leg up to the sky. And on the next exhale, let's do this sort of eagle squats. So bringing now your left leg back of your right and sort of coming down as much as you can, bending your right knee without lifting your right heel. And then inhale up and exhale down. Just keep your hands on the floor all the time or on the blocks, or I'm on my fingertips. 3 more. Two. And last one, hold here for a bit. Just breathe. Now inhale back into standing split. And just lift your torso up into warrior 3 on the other side. First of all, check your left leg that it's parallel to the floor. Toes pointed or foot flexed. Bring your left hip down more than you think you have to. Engage your core and come up with the torso parallel to the floor. Hands in prayer. 3 breaths. Now if you can, bring your left leg in front of you, knee bent without placing it onto the floor. I know it's quite difficult. And we'll come into the eagle pose on the other side. So let's bring our left leg across our right. Come down as much as you can. Again, if you can't do that, just sort of cross it and bring your left toes onto the mat. And then come down, okay? You can also stand like this. If you can, really wrap. Do the double wrap. And now bring your right arm across the left. And either you come into a full bind, into eagle pose, or you can just hug your shoulder blades and your shoulders. Or even keep your hands in prayer in front of your chest. 3 inhales and exhales. Come down more than you think you can. If you have your arms and hands in eagle, make sure the shoulders go down, that your elbows go up, and your palms go away from you. Last deep inhale and exhale. Let's shake it out here. Maybe you can just sort of flow left and right. Just to release all of the body and the muscles. And now we'll come to the top of our mat again. And let's inhale, arms up above our head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. You can bring hands on your shins or on your knees, looking up. And exhale, let's step back into our plank, and from here we'll come on our forearms. This is what I suggested before, like forearm plank for the ones that didn't do or couldn't do proper plank because of the wrists. And now in our forearm plank, you can either keep your forearms parallel with hands on the floor, or you can bind your hands in front of you, okay? As you like. I think I'm going to interlace my fingers. Take care that your shoulders and your elbows are aligned, and that your elbows are not wider than the shoulders. Okay, so don't have it like this. Take care that your elbows are the same width as the shoulders. And now in this plank pose, we'll slowly be walking with our feet closer to our face into our dolphin. And this is a great shoulder strength. Now you can have your knees bent here. You can have your feet together or hip width apart, as you like. The important thing is that you feel your shoulders here. Straighten your spine. Push your chest towards your hips. And just stay in this dolphin pose. And then we'll be just walking forearm plank and walk to dolphin. Forearm plank and walk to dolphin. Step back into forearm plank and walk to dolphin. And just really take care that you're breathing, yeah? Just regulate, set your breath. Like maybe exhaling into dolphin and inhaling into plank. And really have the same length of both of them. And last one. Dolphin and plank. Now let's hold plank for a bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's come down with our knees. Let's come into child's pose very quickly for a bit of rest. Again, then you can have your knees together and knees apart, but I just find that it really depends what you like. If you have child's pose with your knees apart, as wide as the mat, it's a little bit more of an extension for the lower back. If you have your knees together, it's a bit more of a flexion. So if you're like, I'm not allowed to do too many flexions, I tend to always have my knees as wide as the mat. From here, let's come on to all fours. Cross our ankles and let's sit down. And we'll finish with a couple of core exercises. So just have your knees bent, feet on the floor, arms in front of you outstretched, and let's come down slowly, rolling down the spine onto the mat. And we'll do a couple of leg lifts first. Bring your hands below your sit bones. It will help you to protect your lower back. Flex your feet or point them. Really depends what you prefer. I prefer flexed. Push your lower back into the mat, navel to spine. And let's do the lifts. Don't touch the floor with your heels, or if you do, just sort of graze the floor with your heels, okay? So inhale up and exhale down. All the time pushing low back into the floor. Your navel engaged so that you're protecting your low back. So we'll be doing this for 2 minutes. I'll just quickly check the time. Just keep on doing it. So we have 1 more minute to go. This for me is like the best exercise for the core. It's not easy, and if you need a bit of rest, just rest. Just maybe place your feet on the ground for a bit, or have your legs up like this and just rest for a second and then try to continue. You can have your knees slightly bent, okay? Legs can be completely outstretched. Then your leg muscles are working as well, or more. Or you can have the knees slightly bent. Okay, so 15 more seconds. Try to stay with me till the end. Okay, now on the last inhale, bring your legs up. Hold the breath on an inhale as long as you can, just as long as it feels comfortable for you. And then release. And we'll stay here and just bring your right leg down, but not completely to the floor. Now point both of your feet. So bring it maybe 10-20 centimeters above the floor, hovering. Your left leg is up. Let's put palm to palm prayer. You can also do index finger and thumb on thumb. So left or right, left thumb over right or right over left. And we'll be just doing a little exercise for the side core, so for obliques. So let's just come up and down and up and down. But so just very small movements. Don't come all the way down, okay? Don't forget to breathe. We'll do 10 each side. Hold here and switch. Hold and release. You can either hug your legs, hug your knees here if you want, or you could just place your feet onto the mat. Knees bent together in front of the mat, and feet are hip mat width apart. So with that, you will release your low back into the floor. It's much better than to just lie down, yeah. So feet as wide as the mat, knees bent, and then you bring knees together in the middle of the mat. Now straighten both of your legs, whether you had them on the floor or whether you were hugging your knees. And now bring your right knee towards your chest again And just sort of pull it over to the left. We'll come into a quick cat stretch, bringing our right arm next to our ear, or maybe diagonally to the right hand, top of the mat. You can look straight up or to the right. And let's switch. Hug your left knee and bring it across, bringing your left arm either next to your ear. You can also have it in cactus shape, or diagonally towards the left upper corner of the mat. Let's come back into the middle. And if you want, you can sort of roll up on your spine into the seated position, or you come on the left or the right hip. Coming up, I'm going to roll up. I mean, we still have the whole afternoon to go, at least me. Or if you're in the States, you'll have more. You'll have the entire day. So I'm not going to lie in Shavasana for too long. So let's come back into the seated position. And let's just do 3 circles, bringing hands in prayer in front of our chest, and just inhaling, arms up, and really trying to reach the sky, and exhaling back into the middle. And second one, and exhaling. And the last one, let's inhale, arms up, and exhale into the middle. Last deep inhale here. And exhale through the mouth. Maybe closing your eyes. Slightly bowing if you want or not. And just thanking ourselves for coming in onto the mat today. I think this was quite a strenuous exercise, so I hope this Facebook Live worked. And thank you very much for joining me. If it works, if everything went well, then I'm going to see in the Facebook group going live with my exercise class next week. So it's going to be every week up to the coaching, which starts, I think, in the week of 18th of October, where it's going to be a little bit more of writing and workbooks and mental work and lectures. So thank you very much for joining me. If it didn't work, I'll post in the group, and then I'm going to repeat it either tomorrow or Thursday and try to do it through Zoom or something in a different way. Have a lovely day, and thank you very much for being members of my group. Bye bye. Bye everyone.